Hey guys, Ryan here. Let's make the most of your Galaxy Buds 3 Pro. Here are some tips and tricks to get you started. Your Galaxy Buds 3 Pro come with 2 extra pairs of ear tips. One smaller, one bigger. You might be surprised how changing ear tips would make a big difference in your experience. Not only can they give you a better and more secure fit, but also you'll be able to enjoy a better noise cancellation experience. You see, active noise cancellation is only half the equation. The other half is passive noise cancellation or blocking. So don't be lazy and try the extra ear tips. That's my number one tip for you. But once you open the app, you will see 4 modes: active noise cancelling, adaptive, ambient sound, and off. But if you want to use your phone to change these modes, I highly recommend you add a Buds controller widget to your home screen, just like I have. And to do that, tap and hold your home screen, then select widgets, and from the Galaxy Buds 3 Pro Manager, add the Buds controller. Then you can resize it and place it wherever you want on your home and change the modes much faster. But this is assuming you have a Galaxy device. If you don't have a Galaxy device, how do you even connect the earbuds to it? Or can you even use them? The answer is, of course you can, but you won't have access to many of the advanced features these earbuds offer. So if you do happen to have a non-Galaxy device, go ahead and open the case first, then press and hold this button for 3 seconds. Then open your phone's Bluetooth settings and pair them. You can even turn on off the ANC, but if it's not working, just pair your earbuds with a Galaxy device of a family member or a friend, and in the controls, make sure both left and right earbuds can turn on and off the ANC. Alright, so now we know that we can control the earbuds right from the home screen. And if you tap on the widget, then it'll open the Galaxy Wearable app. Now, no matter which mode you're on, you'll see this auto switch to ambient sound option. When I tap it, at the top, there's 2 safety features: the voice detect feature and the siren detect feature. When I turn on the voice detect, no matter which mode the earbuds are on, as soon as I start talking, even at a quiet voice, the earbuds will automatically switch to the ambient mode and will lower the media sound like music significantly, so you can have a proper conversation. This will switch back to the original mode, even if it was off. So again, it doesn't necessarily have to be on the ANC mode for this to get activated. What if it's already on the ambient mode? Then if you start talking, the only change is going to be the media volume. And this will last for 5 seconds. After that, it resumes like before. If I were you, I'd enable the siren detect as well. I understand if you didn't want to turn on the voice detect, but the siren detect wouldn't hurt. The ambient mode has the ambient sound volume option that is supposed to allow to control how much you can hear from your surroundings. But in my experience, the change is only noticeable in the ambient hum, not the other things going on around you, like conversations and announcements. So here's the trick I've learned and my tip for you. If you need to use the ambient mode, you can lower the ambient sound volume all the way. This way you'll be able to hear your surroundings clearly, but without that annoying hissing sound. There isn't much to the adaptive noise cancellation mode, and honestly, I'm not a big fan of it either. The adaptive noise cancelling really requires a lot of noise to sort of kick in. So if it's quiet around you, turning it on is almost like turning on the ambient sound, which includes that noise I talked about. And there's no way to reduce it, at least as of now. So that's why I don't use the adaptive mode. Now the ANC mode does have this extra slider that allows you to control its level, but again, I don't hear much of a difference. It's only in the presence of certain low frequencies that you would hear a somewhat meaningful change. Now let's quickly go over the basics of the controls on the Buds 3 Pro. You can pinch to play and pause, double pinch to go to the next track, triple pinch to go to the previous track, swipe up to turn up the volume, and swipe down to turn down the volume. And all these will work on both left and right earbuds. Now if you pinch and hold during a call, it'll reject the call, and if you just pinch, it'll answer, or if in the middle of the call, it'll end the call. And when not on a call, if you pinch and hold, it turns on and off the ANC. When you're on a call with someone using earbuds, after some time you might feel uncomfortable and tend to speak louder than usual. Sometimes people even yell because they can't hear their own voice well when using earbuds. Fortunately, there is a way to fix this problem. If you go to the auto switch to the ambient sound and turn on use ambient sound during calls, you will be able to hear your voice better and feel less pressure in your ears. Of course, if you're in a loud place, I'd recommend against using this feature so you can hear the caller better. Now, in the first tip, I talked about using different ear tips, but you can also use a fit test from the app to be even more sure of the fit. Just head over to the sound quality and effects and earbuds fit test. Make sure the earbuds are not dislodged or anything like that, and run the test a couple times. Then if you get a poor fit, try a different pair of ear tips and run the test and see if it helps. Although I must confess, even this test isn't that perfect, so when it comes to fit and comfort, it's ultimately up to you which size you use. If you watch a movie or maybe a live performance, you might want to turn on the 360 audio from the sound quality and effects menu. And if you want to make it even more immersive, you can tap the 360 audio to open the submenu and turn on head tracking. Then make sure your phone is in front of you to get a good effect. But personally, I'm not a big fan of this feature as I don't believe the sound quality and spatial audio is great in this mode. So I usually don't turn on the head tracking at all, and occasionally might turn on the 360 audio. Now let's see how you can use the equalizer. Fortunately, there are a lot of useful presets you can choose from. I think the bass boost is just obvious. If your music is very bassy, then choose this option. If you want it to be extra boomy, then you can still further increase the 63 Hz, which would automatically switch to the custom mode. If some of the high-end, like the sharp sounds, hurt your hearing, just choose the smooth option. If you want a little bit of bass and a clear mid-range and high-end, like the human voice and some instruments, then choose the dynamic option. If you listen to a lot of podcasts, then choose clear. And the treble boost might help with the instrumental type of music. Now in this tip, I want to show you how you can customize these controls. In the Galaxy Wearable app, if you go to the earbud controls, you can turn off any and all the controls if that's what you want. You can even customize the left and right pinch and hold controls separately. So I'd like to keep the noise controls on both left and right on mine, but for the left one, I've decided to go for the ANC and adaptive, even though I don't really use the adaptive mode. And for the right one, ANC, ambient sound, and off. The reason I didn't add off to the left earbud is that I can switch faster after a change of mode. But if all the options are on, it would take longer to, for example, switch back to the mode I was on. And from the same place, you can also control the earbud's LED lights. You can disable this feature, but you can change the lighting style. I prefer the blinking option, and to turn them on or off, I just need to pinch and hold both at the same time. Now, here's another trick I've learned I want to share with you. If you don't want the earbud's battery to go to very low levels like 10 or 15%, then you can turn on the LEDs, and once they go under 30%, a voice prompt says that, and the LEDs will be turned off. Now let's talk about one of the coolest features of these earbuds, which is totally new, and that's voice commands. Look, if you have a Galaxy device, you might be a Bixby user, and to use Bixby with your earbuds, you can go to the earbuds settings, then voice controls, turn on Bixby voice wake up, and set up Bixby on your phone if you haven't yet. But the cooler option is the one below that, the voice commands. So this new feature is actually like the voice commands we've had forever on our Galaxy devices to take photos hands-free. But now we'll have a complete control over the media controls without the need to call Bixby. This is much faster and it responds almost immediately. But of course, nothing is perfect, and sometimes when you're talking with someone, it might hear something and start the music or whatever. If you stop wearing the earbuds without putting them back in the case and receive a call, you'll need to use your phone to talk. If you prefer to keep the earbuds nearby without putting them back in the case, and you still want to use them for calls quickly, go to earbud settings, then in-ear detection, and turn off the first option. If you would like to hear any notifications and their content, go to read notifications aloud, and either turn on all or just whichever one you want. Now, here's my tip. If you want to listen to the full content of your messages, first make sure it's enabled, then choose read aloud full content. But if you're using your phone, you won't get these notifications on your earbuds unless you turn on this first option, which says read aloud while using phone. A nice health feature I'd recommend is the neck stretch reminders. Don't worry, it's not an annoying generic reminder. It's only for those who tend to have bad posture with their head bent for at least 10 minutes. If you're a gamer, turn on the gaming mode from Labs. This reduces the latency between your phone and earbuds. In fact, because I watch a lot of content on my phone and don't necessarily play games a lot, I've turned this feature on, which is something you can try as well to get a better sync. Now here's the thing. Sometimes you're wearing just one earbud at a time, and in that case you won't be able to use the ANC. But if you go to the accessibility menu and turn on the noise controls with one earbud, you can. Okay, so I left a very useful tip for the last one. So if you remember, I said there isn't anything you can do regarding the human voice in the ambient mode, and that's why we lowered the ambient sound volume all the way. But in the accessibility menu, there are a few things you can actually do. So if I turn on the hearing enhancements for ambient sound, then tap it, I can immediately hear a very strong ambient sound. And I have even control over the volume of the ambient sound of the left and right earbuds separately. And it can get really loud. So this is a great feature for those who need a hearing aid. But if there are people around and you want to have a conversation, you can also turn on the boost voices in front of you option. I found this accessibility feature to be great for hearing announcements as well. But for someone with normal hearing, that constant, strong ambient hum is very annoying. So when you turn on the boost voices in front of you, you can also reduce the background noise with this slider. I don't know why it's so hidden, but once you enable this feature, it'll be available on the front page of the app under ambient mode as well. So think of this last tip as something between the ambient mode and ANC mode, like the adaptive mode, except with full control. Okay, so actually there's one more feature that can be helpful for everyone, and that's the adapt ambient sound in the accessibility menu. When you turn this on, you will need to run a hearing test, and then your earbuds will adjust the ambient sound based on your hearing. Just make sure you do this test in a quiet place. All right, that's it for today. Enjoy your new earbuds. I'll see you in the next one, guys.